When the bush rat feasts in the palace, the hunter is not far behind. At night, under the cover of a full moon, a shadow crept into the sleeping village of Agbede. The thief moved like a whisper, his feet bare, his hands fast. One by one, yam barns fell to his blade. Ropes slashed, tubers vanished into his bulging sack. But greed made his hand heavy. Even a python chokes when it swallows more than its throat can bear. The village men started to pursue him. The shouts of thief followed him like a bullet. As he turned to flee, an old man, a palm wine tapper, stood in his path, holding a wooden tapping stick as a defensive weapon. The thief, eyes wild and desperate, raised his dagger.
Thief, you are going nowhere. Stay where you are.
Baba, leave the road. You go wundo.
A fight began. The palm wine tapper fought with all his strength but could not stand the thief's boiling madness. In a blur, the thief struck. Blood gushed out like a fountain from the palm wine tapper's neck, his cry unfinished. He fell on the ground, life leaving his body. Hunted, the thief ran along the village footpath and bent toward the looming forest, breath ragged, eyes wide with urgency. His tunic clung to his body, damp with sweat. Behind him, a group of determined village men gave chase, broad-shouldered, marked with tribal scars and brandishing spears. Torches danced across their faces as dust rose with every pounding footstep. One had his mouth open in a shout. Another was gaining ground, eyes narrowed in anger. The thief crashed through a thicket on the edge of the village. His body was bruised and bloodied. Moonlight began to break through the thick clouds, casting beams on the forest floor. The river's sound was faint, but growing louder. He arrived, breathless, at the riverbank. He paused only for a moment, his chest heavy, blood dripping onto the wet rocks. The river looked furious and dangerous. Behind him, the torches of the villagers appeared over the hilltop. One man raised a spear and another shouted with fury. The thief turned his head. His face was drenched in sweat, lit by fear and defiance. The river waited. This was the moment between decision and action. Driven and blinded by madness, he jumped into the river full of hungry crocodiles, swimming deep against the river's strong current. All that occupied his mind was escape. The next moment, a crocodile came up to have him for dinner. He tried to fight it, but his end was already written in the crocodile's jaw. And there, he ended his life, his stealing. By dawn, all that remained was the floating gourd of the tapper's hat, and fear, rippling downstream like smoke through 1,000 thatched roofs. Villagers, men, women, and children gathered in solemn silence at the scene of the incident. 3 hunters went again to the river path. Unknown to them, the thief was met with the crocodile. Crouched nearby, their expressions tense and unreadable. One gently touched the earth where the prince stopped, then slowly shook his head in frustration. In the heart of Yoruba land, between 3 hills, lay a quiet village known as Ile Oko, home of farm. It was a village rich in peace. For many seasons, the drums of war had not echoed there. Children played freely, and harvests were always full. But as the elders say, the fire that hides beneath cold ash burns the deepest. And so it was, on a quiet evening, that peace was tested in the home of a man, Baba Olayemi, not by swords, but by the heavy thoughts of fear that crippled his heart. Inside his compound, Baba Olayemi, a wiry man with eyes that saw shadows in sunlight, stormed into his hut. A worn pestle dangled in his hand, and sweat clung to his brow like rain. His wife, Ireti, looked up, surprised by her husband's trouble, and asked, "What's it, my husband? What happened? Why are you this restless?" Baba Olayemi replied, "Hide the yam. Lock the shed. Tonight feels strange, very strange."
Strange, for what? Has the moon fallen from the sky?
Have you not heard? Robbers attacked Agbede village last night. Even the town chief's yam barn was emptied. A man was killed.
But that is 3 hills from us. Our village has known peace since the days of my father. Why fear shadows when the sun still shines?
That is how danger enters. Like smoke through the window, my spirit finds no rest. A goat that hears the hunter's horn must not wait to see the arrow. Hide the cowries. Bolt the door tonight.
A tall, lean man, dusty and clothed in a worn warrior's garb, walked steadily. A small satchel was across his shoulder. His eyes scanned the path like a hawk's. This is Ayegbi, a battle-worn warrior of Oyo, lost and weary. He paused near a thick anthill at the edge of the village and listened. He gripped his short spear tighter as he glanced around. He saw the dim lantern lights of the first compound. His eyes softened. Then, he lowered his spear slightly and walked quietly through a narrow path beside Baba Olayemi's compound. When the leopard returns from war, even the goat fears its shadow. Baba Olayemi paced slowly and moved outside with a pestle in his hand. His ears twitched at every sound. Ireti was tired of her husband's anxiety, spoke from inside. "You will soon chase your own shadow, Baba Olayemi. Rest. Even the gods sleep." Baba Olayemi replied, "Not when strangers walk like smoke. I heard something outside. I swear by Ogun's blade." Ajegbe crouched low, scouting for a spot to lie until dawn, his back to the hut. The moon shone brightly. The village was quiet, except for the fear that pounded in the heart of Baba Olayemi. Baba Olayemi, pestle in hand, watched the shadow shifted. He spotted a figure moving. Ajegbe, crouching near the hut. Baba Olayemi said to himself, "Ah, Ogun, give me strength. My hands must not fail me tonight." He charged, and with a loud grunt swung the pestle on Ajegbe's head. He fell like a sack of yam. Iriti rushed out and screamed,
My husband, what have you done? He is dead."
The eye blinded by fear sees only enemies. At the village square, early morning, drummers alerted people. Villagers poured in. Ajegbe, now conscious, sat under the large Iroko tree, bruised. The village chief, Ashipa, asked, "Baba Olayemi, speak. Why did you strike an innocent man?" Baba Olayemi stammers, I thought. He was one of the thieves." Ajegbe spoke in defense. "I am no thief. I am Ajegbe, warrior of Oyo. I lost my unit near the Osun River. Let the gods witness, I seek only rest. I meant no harm. And the last thing I remembered was the heat of pestle on my head." Ajegbe recounted his journey. The village listened. Even Baba Olayemi bowed his head, filled with guilt. As the tradition of Ile Oko, there was an ancient drum that, when beaten, revealed light and unraveled hidden things. The drum was brought into action to light up the issue before all the villagers. The drum declared Aaja Ipe as a man with a good heart, free of evil, and who deserved an apology. Chief Ashipa came in. "Truth has danced before us all. Baba Olayemi, see your life. Your pestle has cried for no yam, but for man. You attacked and wounded an innocent man, a warrior of Oyo. The tongue that rushes ahead of truth will only bring home shame. Ajigbe, please forgive Baba Olayemi. I beg you on behalf of all the chiefs and the village. Inside Baba Olayemi's compound, Ireti served pounded yam with rich vegetable full of fresh bushmeat to Ajigbe with honor. As Baba Olayemi apologized to the warrior, my eyes were blind, but my heart will now watch. Please, I beg you forgive me my errors. I acted out of fear. Ajigbe smiled faintly and replied, the hand that swung feared, not hated. I hold no grudge. There is peace now in my heart. Inside Baba Olayemi's compound at night, Olayemi sat beside her father and asked, Baba, what will you do if fear returns? Baba Olayemi took a deep breath and replied, a frightened mind cannot see right. I will light a lamp in my heart and not swing a pestle. My daughter, when fear burns, a mistake is never far. What you feed your mind becomes your world. Feed it fear, and it blazes into wildfire. Feed it peace, and it brings fortunes. Lessons to hold. Because evil happens around doesn't mean it will come to you. Yet, the fearful thought of it can bring it in. Never allow bad things to burn. Decision is taken in a moment, but the consequences may linger for a lifetime. Always weigh your actions. If you are wrong, seek forgiveness. Owning your mistake and seeking forgiveness is a strength, not a weakness. Thoughts will knock on your mind's door. Greet them all, but only allow the noble ones stay for dinner. Guard your arts with all diligence. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. Proverbs 4:23. Job 3:25.